Hi everyone, so we are in the new space now. I have a bookshelf there and the other one over there you can see with my lantern, one of my kitties. My other kitty can you see her? No, I think. Oh, wow, she left. She's getting into her bed. I thought that was her brother. Anyway, so yeah, we're in the new space. I'm kind of in my little office corner set up right here. Since we're all officially moved in, and so I think Sunday late afternoon was the first time I really got to relax since the move. You know, just planning the whole move, getting here, getting unpacked, looking for work. My brain was like, whoa, we don't know how to handle this, that we get to relax. So I got some good reading in, but I've been struggling to get back into writing my book. I feel like I've been in survival mode, really dealing with this big change that we have made. I did get a job, which is really exciting, and I can't wait to start, which I will in 2 weeks. Working at coffee again, my favorite. And I also start school I start school in about a month. So it's all sort of coming together. So this is gonna be my little domain for everything. And since coming back, I started a book club with 2 of my best friends from high school. I'm so excited. We don't have a name for our book club yet. Maybe in our first meeting we'll come up with something. But we did pick our first book. This book is so disturbing, but it's really good. It is The Silent Patient by Alex. Let me see if I can say his name right. Michaelis. So I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, sir. Your writing is impeccable though. I'm on chapter 15. Can you see that? Right now, I believe Goodreads said this about 32% of the way in. I guess I read a little faster than my friends, so I'm gonna slow down on this for a bit, but I also don't want to because I'm really enjoying it. But that is essentially what we're doing for our first month for August. And then I am still currently reading The Crown of Midnight. I am not as far as I would like. I am on page 134. So part of today is I'm hoping to get through a bigger chunk of this because I would like to move on from it. I definitely started it when things were a bit wonky in life, so I'm loving it, just reading it at a much slower pace. And I've been trying to read before bed since we got to the new place. I'll probably get through 1 to 2 chapters. These ones are a little longer chapters. These chapters tend to be short and then long depending on what's going on. So it really just depends. But I think I got sidetracked there. So that's where I'm at. Oh, and I'm also listening to the audiobook, The Choice, for the last book in Nora Roberts' Dragonheart Legacy series. And I want to try to get through Crown of Midnight so I can focus more on The Choice. So the biggest thing for me today is I really want to work on writing my book. I think what I was trying to say is that I've gotten a little bit more into reading again, which I'm really happy about. But I need to get back into writing. I think it's been at least a month since I've looked at my manuscript, which makes me really sad because it's been a while. Let me actually pull it up and see what the word count is that we're on right now. July 8th, and it's July 30th. It's not entirely a month. All right, let's see how many words we're at currently. 18,246 words. For my rewrite, I feel pretty good about that. I think I left off at 25,000 on the first draft that I did. Okay, so I just left off on a really kind of dramatic thing that I wasn't expecting to do with my character. And I've actually had a lot of time to think about where I want this to go. I want to introduce one of the main character's best friends. I think I'm going to dive a bit deeper into this character's point of view because I have 3 characters with first points of views. We have Westra, Nestariel, and Berg. Westra is at the magic school. Nestariel works at a tavern, but she's about to go traveling on the road. Oh wait, well first she's going to go into the forest to come meet up to get advice from her friends who are still using magic because they're my little rebels. And then Berg is basically at the kingdom with the evil queen. So some stuff just happened with her. I think I need to deal with it. I'm trying to figure out how. Sometimes I love the story that I made, but I find myself struggling to make it all come through. I find that reading and watching stories that have very complex plots that are also trying to focus on character has been really helpful and really trying to maneuver this story. I think for my first book and series, I am giving myself probably a bigger challenge than I should. But here we are, just being patient with myself, trying to focus on really just getting this first draft done. And then I can go through and work out the kinks. My partner, David, he is a writer and he does a ton of world building, and he is really good at doctoring stories. He tends to be like my editing buddy when it comes to that stuff. I don't know why I am pulling right here from my throat when I should be pulling from my gut. I can like feel I've left LA, and yet the rasp still wants to stay here. My goal today is to write for 1 hour. That's what I need to do. And I really want to explain, I feel like when you set out to write, you don't always necessarily need to put words on the page. I feel like a lot of it is putting it back, like getting yourself back into a routine. And I'm gonna start work in 2 weeks. And so I'm gonna have to find a whole new routine, which will be an adventure on its own. But I think with school being a bit structured in there for my schedule, I'll be able to find a consistent rhythm. At least that's the goal. I'm going to reread let's see, what was this? I'll probably read the last 2 chapters, because it looks like the last one was a Berg POV and right before that was a Westra chapter. So I think doing that, I learned that from Stephen King, and it actually helps me to really dig back into the story. I think he called it like a freeway or something, but it helps me reconnect with my story and what's going on with my characters. And then I'll probably sit there for a moment and do some thinking and pondering. I'll have my playlist up, which really helps me get into my feels, and then we will see what writing happens. I like to give myself about an hour, because usually I sometimes go over it, but I just tell myself, let's just for an hour, sit here and focus in this creative space and let's see what happens. So that's really what I want to try to tackle. Again, since I'm not starting work for at least 2 weeks, I want to see what I can conquer in the next 2 weeks if I sit down every day and write for an hour. So I'm using you guys basically as a way to help propel me into that motivation. You have been struggling with getting into your writing again. I think let's do it together. It is 11:24. I have no cozy drink today. I have my water. I'll probably go get some more here in a second. I have my candle lit. I am going to play some music. I am over caffeinated and I'm definitely feeling it. I'm gonna get myself water and then we'll start. If you're interested, I will link my writing inspo playlist in the description down below. It is a Spotify playlist. It is also very Taylor heavy, but not all the songs are. did it. It's 12:37 now. Let's see how much I wrote. I wrote about 672 words. I also, like I said, I went through and reread my past 2 chapters. So I did like a bit of editing and tweaking, and I decided to not continue with Berg's chapter. I felt like it kind of ended off on like a good cliffhanger since it was like a bit dramatic, if you will. So I decided to return to Westra. I think Westra is a bit of my biggest hurdle I'm struggling with right now for her arc and plot. I wanted to return to my abandoned school and figure out where it's all gonna go. So I have introduced the magical library run by Marrows, which are my mermaids. So she's about to go down there. I was also able to sort of introduce a bit more history, a bit lore dump, if you will, without giving too much to Westra, but more just like things that the other characters would know and drop in conversation through sort of negative points of views. So through some of the bad news, I was able to spurt out some of the things that are going on in the world. I also made sure that in Berg's Inner Thoughts, we hear about some of that information too. I definitely want to start showing that a bit more versus just telling it. So I think when I get into more of Nestariel's chapters, and because she's going to be on the road, we can see a bit more of that. Then I do know that the situation I've put Berg in, she will come out. I also haven't done a third person point of view for the Evil Queen in a while, so maybe that will be a good opportunity for me to explore that. So today was really nice to just get immersed back in my story, have my music play. I'm very happy with the progress I made. Tomorrow I will be going back in and redesigning a lot of my library that I created. I still have it in my first draft, so I might go back and look at some of those notes so I don't kill myself, because I did really like how I created it, so I think I need to present some of that again. So I will probably do a bit of copy and paste to save myself a bit of a headache. And I also need to look at what those characters, some of the Marrows characters' names were. I need to, obviously things have changed now, and I'm really trying to focus on showing and not telling as much as possible. And if I do tell, making sure I have scenes later to prove all that telling through showing. Either the rest of today I can sort of play and ponder about maybe what's going to happen down in the library versus just getting information. It's funny, if you play Dungeons and Dragons, you essentially never want your players to go into a library because then you're just info dumping to them. You want something to actually happen. So I need to think about what that is going to be. What is the point of the scene? Besides me just having fun with world building and showing it all to you, there needs to be something that happens. That is where we are. Sorry, that was a lot of information. Hope you enjoyed. I am going to go make lunch now, and then we're going to do some Crown of Midnight afterwards. I am on page 134. It's 414. I think if I can try to read, I think yesterday I read like 60 pages for The Silent Patient, so I think if I can get through 60 or 80 today, I will feel pretty accomplished. I ate too much for lunch and it made me sleepy, but it also could be the heat. So I read, I think it was like almost 50 pages. I've just been sleepy and getting easily distracted, but it's getting really good. See, like my tabs. It's hard to say too much because if you haven't read the series, I don't want to give anything away, but I'm really, I guess, falling in love with all the characters in this series. I feel like Sarah's books, they just feel so cozy and like a safe space, and I love every time that I return to them. And this definitely did take me a minute to get into the series because, again, it's a different world, different characters, but I've fallen completely in love with it. I kind of like that I'm not rushing through the series and really getting to take my time and explore this world and understand the characters more. It's kind of cool. I think, how many books did she write? It's like 9 or something that's all set in front of glass, and it's such a slow build up to, I don't know what's coming, but I know something's coming, and I can tell, like, because I know her writing, you know, I'm keeping tabs of what mystery Sarah is putting us on to. So, and today was a success. I got to write, I focused on reading, and I'm going to continue doing that. So thank you for helping get me into my flow again. I think tomorrow, to kind of keep the motivation up, like as a body doubling session, if you will, I think I might do a write with me for an hour video. That way anyone else who is struggling to get back in, we can essentially write together. I will see you all in the next video, and if you're new here, please consider subscribing, liking the video, or if you just love what I do, you can support me on my Patreon at the $5 tier. Consider it like tipping your local barista when you go get your favorite coffee. That's how I like to do it. But anyways, if you're just here watching, I appreciate you so much. Let me know in the comments what you're reading. Also, I had some apple and peanut butter today. What is your favorite snack to have while you read? If you're writing, let me know how your writing journey is going. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.